Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam, here with the 22nd session of the Underland Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. We have Austin as Erich, we have Ryan as Henwick, we have Bob as Kalidan, and we have Nick as Jimmy. Last time, hanging out outside of Warrenhide, Erich met an old man who left behind a dusty old compass.
Yep,
After a bit of time, the magical compass started pointing to something. Something that Erich had not found before. He followed the compass 6 days until he came to a near-abandoned temple of Vecna. Found a man there who was very sad at the death of his girl and blaming himself for it. Stole some books from him, had one stolen back from the shadows, and encountered a troll for the first time in quite a while that appeared mighty swiftly after you'd seen a book that led to, or at least tried to track down deities.
Yes.
Encouraged you to hand it over, but when it found out that Erich wanted to read it, seemed fine with that prospect and left.
I can't read it.
Yeah, I have the book.
Well, also,
You can try.
you're the only one who speaks Undercommon, so...
Yep.
and probably the only one
speaking
with
of
access to tongues.
Yeah. Well,
Comprehend languages, yeah.
Speaking of the book, so whatever, I've got the book that had information on becoming a lich.
Mm-hmm.
I had the book that had, that was
More than that, but yes.
Yeah, more than that. The one that seemed to have a brief history of Vecna, and then I had the one that was a journal about notes and scraps of information about trying to locate deities and how to deal with them.
And you lost general church and cult information.
Right. That one got light-handed away. Okay. So, whatever. Last night we were talking about having bedtime stories of how to find Firelingen, or at least reading through the notes of what it said about it. Alright.
Yes, because you took a rest a couple hours towards the next point that the compass is pointing towards.
We are going to need to work going back to town at some point. I only have 20 rations left.
Alright.
Yeah, that was 6 days.
I have 9. Just like survival checks. Find enough food for everybody. You cannot actually do that down here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of the main functions.
There's mushrooms and wild animals. We could eat the slugs.
You seem to grow quite fond of some of them.
Yeah, the slugs are delicious.
I mean, really, that's the point. You can't leave them down here. You wouldn't be able to access these delicacies of slugs.
When we get up in the morning, I want to do something.
Okay, well, then one thing first.
Alright.
Oh, night times. Don't get the voice.
Oh, he's going to do this.
So you have a basic dream, just sort of almost like you find yourself sitting in the temple looking much crisper, newer, lit, not inhabited, but all of the stools upturned, everything sat right in place, candles lit along the walls. And as your head drifts upward, you notice a fish. Your raven sitting up in the rafters, and sort of it flutters around a few times until floating its way down and landing on the back of one of the pews, when almost in a blink, a hand of light snatches it out and it seems to be gone. You look around and cannot find it.
A feather or the bird itself?
The bird itself is gone with a hand of light that came from nowhere.
You probably will see it nevermore.
You spend some time looking, but eventually the reality drifts into darkness and morning will come. What do you do in the morning, Henwick?
Alright, when I wake up in the morning, I call Snake over to me.
Is Snake one of your zombies or skeletons?
It's one of the skeletons.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
call
sneak. In it?
yeah, Sneak.
You
So-
said snake.
Yeah, Sneak. I call him over to me. Whatever. Stand here. I'm going to give you an order in a minute.
That is technically an order.
Yes.
If you're giving him an order now and another order here soon.
Yes. So I pull out my brass brazier. I pull out a torch. I light the torch. Put it in the brass brazier. I take up the book that has the information on finding deities. I say, Snake, since you knew the languages that you knew in life, flip through until you get to the section on Vecna. When you get to the section on Vecna, tear it out of the book and hand it to me.
What is the intelligence score of a skeleton?
6.
Thank you.
You don't think Ryan took notes? He took notes.
Yeah, he probably took a scan of the page and has it in there.
I've just got it written
down.
That's not animal.
No,
That's-
I'm thinking. Okay.
You could just write down Vecna in Undercommon and have him look it up.
Yeah, I could have Jimmy do it too.
Yeah.
I love that I'm as smart as a skeleton. Well, 10. Yeah.
Yeah, you're well smarter.
Yes.
It's
That
wide
is
and smart.
useful in intelligence as a skeleton.
Jimmy,
but
could you
for
come
sin-
over here and watch over this?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you explain the process, you're able to probably get a little bit more, basically taking together the consideration of more than just where Vecna's name is, but also realizing where the story continues beyond where his name is being mentioned anymore. But yeah, you get probably about 8 pages.
Alright, into the fire. I know better.
Okay.
Alright, take the ashes. No arms, come here. Using whatever mage hand and prestidigitation to gather them all up.
Mm-hmm.
Open your mouth. Eat these.
Nom, 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 nom. No, I'm the zombie, mouth full of Vecna ashes. Walking blasphemy.
It's a secret.
For a while now, he occasionally has little puffs of ash that kind of...
Suck it in.
No, for a while, like for the next probably several hours, either from mouth or from out of just bits of the side, bits of... There's no digestive system for it to go through. It's just sort of sitting in him. But it will gradually spread it out over whatever miles.
Yeah.
That is an effective way of
It's gone.
distributing it throughout a large portion of the...
Hoping there's still some weak stomach acid to get rid of some of it. Alright.
You have strong doubts of that being the case.
Well, let's see. Do it.
Start digesting itself if there's more stomach acid.
Don't you have an acid bolt or something?
No.
No.
Unless I can create some sort of weak acid with prestidigitation.
No, enough to destroy that one, no.
Yeah, so, if not, I would have to take some sort of caustic material out of my spoken
never-
pouch.
Do one of you have... No, I know you have poisons, not acids.
I have acid.
Oh, you have acid?
Yes.
Could you destroy some of this for me?
No.
It's like, no, I'm not wasting my acid on that.
Well, no, I'd have to give it to you. I'm not going to sully my dragon's breath with not lightning.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
You guys want to spit acid? Go ahead.
Say, don't...
Here goes zombie, have acid. I can do that if you wanted.
Don't worry about the, I can, whatever, deal with it a different way.
Because a 15-foot cone will definitely kill a book.
Yeah. And it's like, we can get some more average acid. I just want to collect so I can get rid of it.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that up for now.
Okay, so you're keeping it, not putting it in...
Yeah, until I thought I might have some sort of acid to get rid of it. I'll wait until I have acid to get rid of it.
I don't think you've come back
Technically
from being
speaking, the other 4 of you all have stomach acid.
Yeah,
and it's ash from parchment.
Ash is sterile.
Yeah, it's
like
I'm not eating your book.
Yeah, you can just sprinkle that on, your dishes for the next little while.
just slowly destroying it.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to eat the book. I'll wait until we have some acid.
Afraid the viewer might see in through your stomach. Read this burnt paper.
No.
I don't think it can come back from being burned, can it?
Technically, it was your miracle.
Yeah, well, high-level magic of some sort.
Although at that level, it might be able to get it back from being
Right.
acidified.
I find it weird that the element is called cold and not ice. Like, we don't call fire heat.
Yeah,
But why is it cold? Like, really?
Cold damage. Yeah.
Probably just going back somewhere.
But it's not
history.
heat damage.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's not. This doesn't make any sense. This is inconsistency. It's unacceptable. Literally unplayable. Change it now.
But yeah, I go off for a minute to have a short conversation with Vecna, saying that I've gotten rid of some of the evidence.
Like he doesn't know.
Yeah, and it's like, I've gotten rid of some of the evidence.
Isn't he one of those fun ones who has access to his portfolio?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
In fact, the easiest way for him to know is for you not to tell anyone.
remember,
That's why I'm doing it in my head. Nobody knows except for him.
Nobody's ever actually codified the rules of gods outside of deities, demigods. I mean, which did a really good job of it.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, nothing since has even tried. Like, are we still just assuming deity and demigods is legit? That it's still
I literally am using it for this campaign.
Because the portfolio system was pretty genius. Because we know at least a little bit, thanks to the Time of Troubles and the guys fighting over the portfolios, that sort of works that way still.
Mm-hmm. I want that portfolio. It gives me
But
more
Fate
power.
would be rewritten a lot, so who knows.
Bocob's domain was really funny, especially for wizard battles. I knew you'd cast that.
I knew you'd cast that.
So does that just end up with wizards running at each other with quarterstaffs?
No, it means that Bokov has the perfect knowledge of all spells that were cast like weeks in advance and the past and future. He's got quantum spell vision. So it's like you can walk up like, I'm going to cast this ultimate spell. I knew you would. What? I knew you would when you created that spell like 2 years ago. I knew you were going to cast it 14 weeks ago.
I've got it written right here.
Please. Cast away.
I don't
want it anymore.
Yeah, bet you don't.
It's like, no, you have to cast it now.
What are you
You're
talking
going
about?
to cast it because you've casted it already.
Yeah, it's already happened.
It's like,
Just
either
get
cast
over
it or I will make you cast it.
You know how your Blessed Book of Bokob makes it to where you don't have to spend ink in order to write down? Guess what mine does?
It writes yours down for me. Wait, what? You
So
made up a new magic. I now have that.
And he's like, don't try to come up with spells that I don't have, because I'll have those spells.
Not Bokov's legit. Pretty OP.
Is he one of the Faerun magic gods who died?
Greyhawk.
Oh,
He's
great.
Greyhawk. Faerun is all Mistra. Mistra dies. Mistra dies. Mistras respawn, die. People spawn camp Mistra.
Bane dies, but it was all a plot, and he's actually alive.
Yes, it was all a plot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it doesn't seem to be actual damage types in the first, but there are things that would reference Fireball and Cone of Cold, and it's probably based on things like those names that were in the original edition and passed down through that.
Disapprove.
Disapprove all you want.
So, rousing
Thumbs
stories
down.
for everyone. Like, one for people. And then I sit there stare at skeletons, like, skeleton hard, yeah! Be all you can be, which is half a body.
Know this down to your bones.
Feel that improved health.
That's been really effective so far.
Yeah, how much is it now? 11?
12.
12.
Oh.
That's like a whole great sword of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you have not made a luck check for this travel.
I fear nothing.
Not bad.
14. That's an 11, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
14.
14, alright.
Survival.
Help. Next helping, so advantage, yes.
Let's see.
Can I try finding food in along the way?
Or would that be a stealth check?
Yeah. You can try and find food along the way. And that reminded me what I was looking for in here. Thank you.
What do I do? When I stay in the day.
It's like 15, and you can feed one person for every
15.
2 over.
Bob finds himself some friends for himself.
Oh, 15 on the finding the way check.
I could make an investigation check in the event that we find tracks of an animal or some sort of clue.
I still think those are survival checks for tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but investigation can at least let me
Maybe tell what type of animal?
and let me be able to do not tracking, but it'd be able to tell me what it is and where it's come from.
Look, it's like, the dirt from this one came from these caves over here. You know where it went? No. I know where it's been.
I could make.
Okay, yeah, no, the way that it
Logic-based
works with
guesses
survival
on where
is
I
like
think it
to
might
hunt
be.
wild game, at which point would basically be when you stop somewhere and just spend extra time. So in other words, you would have to take a few hours out of your day reducing travel in order to try and...
So, guys, do you think we should add basically a day to our travel time to make sure we find food? So we don't have to use up all of our rations?
I'm fine with that.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Alright, then we'll add an extra day to our travel time.
Yeah, you're basically able to, throughout that time, find that, edible mushrooms, etc.
Apparently, the DMG also has rules covering
Cave goats.
foraging,
Cave goat.
which has a chart
Cave goats.
based on how.
I think I've already included cave goats in here. I know I have mentally.
I don't recall cave goats.
Well, delicious goat.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but I do not recall.
And now it's like, I know normal
I feel
goats
like I
climb
would've
mountains,
mocked
and now
cave-
I'm just imagining cave goats all have spider climb.
No, there's as far as their climbing ability, it's similar to normal goats.
I feel like if you had brought them up, I would have mocked them, and I would have recalled the mocking.
Now,
I think it might have been
hierarchy
really close to when I brought up thunder weasels, and you might have still been mocking those.
That's true. Probably thunder weasels. Just I
are
recall
thunder
mocking them.
weasels magical, or are they beasts?
They would.
They're monstrosities.
Yeah.
They're not. They're.
Aberrations.
Monstrosities are what, like, death dogs and stuff are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the white wolf and things like that are usually the monstrosity.
Flying snake.
Quetzalcoatl.
No. I mean, actually, a flying snake. I think that's in here.
Yeah, those guys have flyby attack.
Yeah. The Quetzalcoatls, I think, are actually... No.
Flying snake is still just a beast, so yeah, they would still just be beasts.
No. You may eventually have to come up with a stat block for them.
And snails.
Why?
He has polymorph,
Oh.
and it restricts two beasts.
Become an animal. Gain its intelligence.
Yes. But still, to keep your alignment and personality, you know your friends, you know your foes.
Yeah, but you might not know much else. Like, what were we doing? Well, it looks like they're fighting.
They're trying to hurt my friends. Let's go wreck those guys' shit.
Most importantly, have you seen a polar bear?
Okay,
Cave
you're able to
Cave
go
bear.
pretty easily.
Except not the pussy one in the book.
No. Cave bear is actually listed as a variant of polar bear.
Oh, okay.
I like me some polar
Yeah,
bear.
the ones you're thinking of are like black bears, brown
Yeah.
bears. They're in there somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah, 14.
under polar bear it's
Yes.
variant.
Yes.
Okay,
Cave
so
bear.
that's enough for that one.
Well,
I kind of want to take a luck check. Can I take
his
a one?
luck check was 14.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to take one on luck checks?
My survival is 15.
I feel like
you've already made the roll.
I feel like it'd be a big adventure if we tank a luck check on these. Where we're going.
He's having you roll.
To be fair, just so you know, as far as the way I label my list, it's like cool, really awesome things that are exciting, and then some slightly less exciting, awesome things, and then it's things that could be bad, and then at the very bottom is things that could be boring. So you might not really want to take it. You want to roll low, but not totally low.
Not super low.
Yeah, super low.
I mean, for my normal range.
Clears up the kind of boring things.
Really want to hit that 4 to 8 range.
Yeah. But surely should be your sweet spot, right?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, he's having you roll. And you're lucky.
Hey, man, my luck rolls good sometimes in the weirdest places.
Yeah.
Clink's evidence of that.
Yes.
Hey, Clint.
So, extra day on a walk.
So,
And we can stash all our rations.
Mm-hmm.
so 5-day walk with foraging.
What? You're writing on a sheet. I'm confused.
5-day walk with foraging.
He's keeping track of days.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't like those sheets. They're landscapes.
You've taken table space from me, Bob.
You don't have to look at them.
I mean,
Problem solved!
that dragon is red, so it's very acceptable. I was always relatively annoyed that the red dragons were evil.
Yeah. That's up to me.
Copper isn't.
Yeah,
And that's
but
red-ish.
unfortunately they're lame.
That's red-ish.
I mean, they're funny. but
Whatever.
they're
He
lame.
takes like about how long is it for him to do the foraging?
We're just adding an extra.
It's
day to
it's
travel
basically adding a few hours to each day overall.
Okay.
Yeah.
During those periods of time where he's doing the foraging, I'm off doing my own stuff. I want to cast Locate Object.
A lot.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing in my downtime.
What are you locating?
Iron ore.
How does locate object work?
Describe the name of an object. You sense the
Check. Okay.
you sense the direction of the object's location as long as it's within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell locates a specific object.
That iron ore is just booking it through the air.
The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it as long as you have been within 30 feet of it.
Are you going to mark those locations on your map and sell it
Alternatively,
to the
the
minor
spell
mind
can
code?
locate the nearest object of a particular kind. If the spell fails for any thickness of blocks of lead in direct path between you and the object.
So only lead blocks it.
Yes, only lead blocks it.
But are we marking them in the map and selling it to the minor mind code guy? Because
No, I want it.
Well, you want a limited amount. We could sell it, and you could get
Yeah.
iron ore thusly.
Yeah, I'd say
It'd be like, hey, I got these locations.
I'll have a limited amount that I
So you're
want.
doing that each day, basically.
Yes.
Make a luck check.
Okay.
There's one of his.
Natural one.
None of those days are you within 1,000 feet of the iron ore.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like it would be easier to trade it for pre-refined iron, and we could just.
I don't.
He doesn't need that.
I don't need that. I don't care about pre-refined. I can just turn it into whatever I want.
Oh well, yeah. Why wouldn't we just use this location to trade it for however much iron ore then gold also? I feel like that'd be a better idea.
Yeah, I'm going to take what I didn't take, and then we can mark on our map where we know the stores of the ore are, and then we can deal with it as we want.
Well, yeah, obviously. You get whatever you want first, then we just take
So
that information.
Keep heading on because there is no iron.
Yeah.
Because I need to.
You have more
spells on the
dreams.
axes.
Yes.
I have more dreams.
Well,
or
I can
have
make
no more.
I can
dreams?
make axes.
You have more dreams.
Oh, okay.
No, I need to. I need to make spells on it.
Yes, Mecca has stolen the lasso. No. The next
I
night,
thought you.
things
I
are
thought you were
back to
going to
normal.
want me to make like a
Probably something to
stockpile
do
of
with
axes
the
so you can
tool.
use catapult on
You
them.
know,
I can just do that on it.
another
No, I
Other
have
dreams, the
magic
caverns.
missile, which is more damage guaranteed.
one of note, where you find yourself sitting in a smoky tent with a couple of catfolk who are cooking up your raven in their stew. But otherwise, you're kind of, to a large extent, getting used to them until...
It's like I can spot the
Basically,
prophetic ones better now.
Yeah.
More money because
That, and also just
fire
things that
things
are
on the axe. I want more spells.
directly
Right.
related.
Yeah, we need cash. Right
More
now, I'm
things
just
are
looking for
just
iron.
general
I can look
stuff
for
and-
diamonds and gold.
Your
and
brain
stuff.
processing, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I still have firewood.
Yes.
Well, if you ever use it on fire.
Yeah, I was looking at what
Well-
I still am carrying around firewood.
So that was of no luck. Go ahead and start flipping through the book that had the information on becoming a lich to see what else is contained within the book.
Okay. Yeah, you find... what did I actually say about it before I said that? Did you write that down? Because I do not remember.
Found book with knowledge on how to become a lich and undead.
Okay. So you wrote down the part that was crucial to you.
Well, he also flipped to a random page,
Yeah.
and he said that. Then he never went back.
I
to
gave it a title, though.
You gave the Making Churches book a title. You didn't.
Did I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you didn't give any of the rest of them titles
Okay.
that I've got written.
Okay.
And he probably would have written it down.
Yeah.
I would hope so. Literally the reason you get the computer is because you take better notes than me.
Yeah, if you've got a title, I'll write it down.
We really need to set up some nature of cooling thing for this camera.
Yeah, there's no...
There's nothing that can be done.
No. I can replace the camera and get a box to record externally that has fans in it. It's only like 3,000 or something.
That's it?
You could put like a bowl of ice in one of those tiny fans over there and blow it directly at it.
No.
Which would cause noise and moisture, both of which would damage things.
Moisture, I'll agree, but we're recording off that, aren't we?
We record off of that. I sync by using the sound on that.
Oh, okay.
And if you have extra noise over there, it will still pick it up over here. No, I thought about it.
Freeze some metal plates, strap them to the camera before we
Things
leave
like
them.
that. Thought about, like the normal ice packs. Thought about
gel
things.
packs,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's nothing efficient.
Guidances through the Elysium was the one about founding churches, and Vecna's Path was the one...
That wasn't the title of the book. That was just a description of what you found in there.
Oh. Well, that's what I have written as the title.
Oh. Well, hold on. That was just a point where you flipped through.
I see.
Because... Anyways,
But who's the publisher?
not that kind of book.
What's the SKU number?
7.
It's 10 or 13 digits.
Yeah, the only one
That's
that's...
7.
0000000.
If that's not the title, then the only one that I had with the title was the journal, and it's called Vecna's Path.
Okay. Okay, so that was the last one that I titled, not the first one?
Yeah, the
Okay,
journal.
then that makes sense if it was that one. Because I felt like I titled one of the ones that was directly about Vecna. And yeah, this one is, with the stuff about being Lich, is a lot more of an arcane study.
Well, he's an arcanist.
Yeah.
Or are you using arcane in the meaning like mysterious?
I mean arcane magical.
Mhm.
Like not divine, but arcane.
Yeah.
So did it have a title?
Probably. Give me a second. I did not have it, and if I did, I forgot it.
Is it called The Book of Vile Darkness or Stilled Tongues?
No. No, I did not give you one of those artifacts. I am no fool.
What's the adjective form of obfuscate?
Off.
That's you skating?
Obfuscated?
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like,
wait, I remember where I came up with the
yeah, I
title.
feel like
Hold on.
that could be.
Yeah, an obfuscated car.
Something about whispers.
Forgotten? Lingering?
Yeah, no, like,
Tome of?
yeah. We'll call it Tome of Whispers, but yeah. I took it off of one of Vecna's titles. It's like, oh wait, I remembered.
The maimed hand? Yeah, the maimed god.
Yeah, this was titled based on whispers.
Obfuscatory.
It's obfuscatory?
Yeah, they
I'm
had,
totally
they had a Tory out the end of there, and they're like, yeah, and they also use obfuscated.
Okay,
Obfuscating.
As far as there are bits of it that are essentially you have access to a spell book in part of it that contains the spells Clone, Demiplane, Trap the Soul, Gate,
Just some 9th level shit.
Imprisonment, and Wish.
These all things you need to become a lich?
Some of them are. Others are protections for a phylactery. There are details guiding almost the goals within.
Yeah, we know all about the phylactery.
That just shrunk out a lot of the 9th level spell list, didn't it? So when you
Eighth
finally...
and 9th level.
Yeah, they're 8 and 9 level spells.
Yeah.
So when you get there, it's like, I don't have to take this. Let me go get some more 2nd level spells for these 9th level slots.
Because really, like, the first step of phylacteries is put it on the moon and imprison it.
But other than that, yeah.
Just use
guidances,
Teleport,
huge
doesn't matter.
section on cautions of just, like, again, going for things that go wrong. Yeah, things to
So it's like a golem manual, but for Lichdom?
kind of. It does not, in and of it is not a magical tome. It does not, in and of itself, have the magic.
It used to be a
become-
magical tome, probably, at one time.
But yeah, it's almost guided with the idea of.
Flip through the book and see if it talks about, like, liches of different species, or if it makes any distinction of such things.
It does not get in. It does not get into detail of that.
It doesn't bring up the Dracos?
It briefly brings up more expanded species.
Alchemins.
Completely no, because it has nothing about those.
Okay.
Doesn't talk about Vailnorns either.
I don't know what that is.
Positive energy liches, because elves are special.
No. But yeah, it doesn't bring up any
That's
normal interracial kind of differences. It does bring up some contents more on a Draco Lich or greater creatures.
Demi liches.
Which would be basically a lich as it is deteriorating, and it does have some within some of the cautions for being a lich. It does bring up
it?
some of the.
I don't know what it is in 5th edition. In previous editions, Demi liches were epic level liches.
Yes, it is basically a lich that has lost much of what it is to become a more powerful but less individual being, where the power has taken over and it is less of itself.
Unlimited power?
Yeah. In other words, the idea is you don't want to get there. At that point, your reason for becoming a lich is gone. Things will get destroyed, etc., but...
Right.
Yeah, at that point, it is basically considered you are no longer necessarily who you are. You are no longer surviving death. That is the way that you can die after you've gotten to this.
It is exactly where the DM says, okay, you lose control of your character now. Make new character.
No, just drop my humanity. I'll frenzy. I'll take the penalty.
It's all good.
Wrong game.
So what we
We gotta
think
keep
after our
adding
5
D10s
days.
to this game.
We got
Sorry,
him.
I'm going to close the high-level spell.
Alright, cool.
Who knows if the game goes that long, but if it is, look what I've just done for myself.
Hey, Graham, write these down.
That long, but no longer.
She's not that powerful.
I know. I'd say...
Remember,
You are nearing the point where you're just going to...
And if we get to that spell, then I'm going to have 9th level damage spells. Think of the explosions. Boom.
Yeah, man, you can take Meteor Storm.
Shoot, at that level I can fly.
Yeah.
Just part of what I do.
Yeah, Storm.
Yeah, Heart of the Storm, just flying around.
Yep. At that point, will you get rid of your boots?
At that point, I
No,
don't think I
they're
would.
fancy.
I don't think so.
You might unattune with them, but
Yeah.
still have glowy boots.
Yeah, really sexy boots, yeah.
He just wants to do it so he can kick off walls.
I might trade him. I might trade him for a constant aura of Call Lightning.
On the on our trip, I have learned to make my sword go into an A space and come back.
What? Neat.
Meaning, I can now turn the light off if I so choose. Because I don't have a sheath for this thing. It has been moonlit since we got it.
Hey,
You can cover it with a cloth or a
hey,
blanket.
you learned how to turn your sword into a familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, let's stab them, see if they go to the same place.
No.
No, they don't, or no, don't do that.
No, they don't. I can't stop you doing that.
Gazebo's falling everywhere.
And if you pay for the replacement, he can't complain. It's law.
No.
If you pay World Guild, nobody can complain.
I would like to point out, the replacement for his also costs a hand.
Well, you can get one of those.
But
A lot of
sadly,
people
not
have
from
too.
the zombies. we have available.
A lot of people have 2 hands.
Yeah, that's why you got to.
Yeah. No arms has no hands.
Just saying, you can wield your shield without a hand.
Yeah, you only need one.
So, you make your way several days through sort of a cavern.
Just an open field, bright sunshine.
No. Twisting, turning. I'm sure it opens up at some point, and you follow the direction, and you make your way to an area where you see a couple of those torches, like we're similar outside of the Dwarven, the Drow village, sort of lining the sides of the cavern. The magic
Are they
torches.
red?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're basically an ever-burning
Maybe
torch.
the new place is a town. A great lost town. Shrouded in mystery.
Or just a Drow city.
It's
That we
really
haven't
great
been to
when you keep
before.
insisting that the great lost town of such and such to the guards. You're like, no, everyone knows
I
about
look
it. It's
at the
on
map.
maps.
I look at the map, kind of,
Making sure we haven't doubled back on ourselves.
to see where I think we are in relation to stuff.
You're about here-ish?
Oh.
And there's the other town.
This is uncharted territory. At least I've never been over here before.
Oh.
Hush!
Do I know of any rumors of what might be here?
No.
No.
It may be important.
Inconspicuous cut.
Yep. Pause.
If it's family, you gotta answer the phone.
That was the wrong number.
Or it's completely not important and worthless.
Like I said, I don't know. That's what the phone is. Basically, nobody calls me. I don't have a social life. I basically never get called unless it's a scam, which my phone blocks automatically, or it's something usually important, or, just nothing.
Yes.
Are you gonna wave wildly at the camera?
I think you was writing down the number.
I put my shirt where the entire screen goes blue briefly to help me find it, and I wrote them on the time.
It's way more fun when you wave wildly at the camera.
I have found that literally walking directly up to the camera and filling it with a solid color is more efficient.
But is
I
it
can
as
see.
much fun?
I can see that.
Yeah. It was when I was wearing my Jesus Christ Superstar shirt, and I had to scrub through to find the giant face of Jesus in sunglasses.
Okay. As long as you're having fun with it, that's what matters.
I looked at it and was talking about whatever rituals of washing people's feet. It's like walking around in sandals in a dirty place.
Yep.
And it's like that a big deal back then.
Yep.
That's. Doesn't current Pope love doing that?
Yes.
Which is probably less relevant in modern day, of course. But,
Yes.
Yeah.
but yeah, because of the...
The band's got a fetish.
I have...
He might have a fetish.
I've known people that have incorporated it into their wedding ceremony, sort of symbolically, kind of.
Yeah.
What?
Again.
It is sort of, kind of putting yourself,
Shouldn't that be for the honeymoon?
I'm just saying.
it might be there too, but
Hey, let their freak flag fly. I don't care. As long as their wedding ceremony doesn't last longer than a half hour, I'm perfectly happy with it.
No, you want some Catholic wedding.
I've been to 2 of them, and they lasted no longer than a half an hour both times. The bride and groom were pretty insistent that they were going to
What?
start shaking the beads and give a sermon that it'd be brief.
What if you just rented out the church in order to have like a heavy metal concert, and it's just like, okay, we're going to get married, but instead we're just going to watch the concert.
there are a lot of really popular heavy metal Christian bands, so just so you know.
There are.
Yeah. It's like when you start looking into it, it's surprising. There's
It's true.
Like Brother Metal.
Yes, Brother Metal. Brother Metallo.
yeah. You asked a question.
We went 5 days, city.
I asked
Look at the map.
whether or not I'd had any rumors of what might possibly be over here.
No rumors.
Okay.
No rumors of what might be over here.
Alright, guys.
Could be anything.
We're gonna observe caution. I don't know what's over here.
Okay. But kind of as a cave opens up, you see ahead of you, and there are points of light that illuminate enough of it that even as it's further than what your vision might let you go, you can kind of see.
Paw scout ahead.
If you want me to describe what you see first, or you just going to start by throwing out your corpse hand?
Go hand.
and 5 feet from you.
No one dead alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 5 feet from you, a guy chewing on a reed. No.
Let's be fair. It's the three skeletons and a zombie walking behind him. That's probably going to raise the eyebrow.
Don't we have gigantic cloaks we can put on them?
No, we have not bought any disguising things for the undead.
You could put that's one disguise you still have the kit on them.
But there's a little village, basically, sort of like a tiered wall of stacked sort of masonry stones, to which clearly the village itself rises up beyond that. There are probably 24 buildings that you can easily see. Probably not space for more than double that, even closer to the wall where you can't see. And then one massive, is it a mansion or is it a small castle? You're not really sure, but some sort of
Is it
state
made out of
house.
wood or stone?
Stone.
That's a castle.
It could be a
Most
key
thing-
for a manse.
Yeah. But yeah, structure of that sort at the top center of the hill towards the back stone wall of this sort of open cavern. There is a gate with it set within the stone wall at the front, and there you can, at this point, due to there being sort of sconces, torches on either side of it, see that there is at least someone standing outside of the gate.
Look up.
Sort of,
What type of person is it?
Drow.
What's the
She
name of the
sees
tier
some-
city? The name of the tier city? Tiered. The other drow town.
Oh, yeah.
The original Drow City.
Uh,
No idea. Spent
Barrowman.
a long time there, never figured out the name.
What?
the other city. The other was Barrowman.
Barrowman?
Barrowman was the name of the drow city that you spent so long in.
Writing that down because we've never heard the name.
I've said it like twice.
Apparently, the main distinction is walls. Castles have walls and contain keeps. Keeps are generally towers.
Okay. What about manse?
I don't get it
So
written
that just
down
makes you a
anywhere.
manse, which could be made of anything.
Either
defensive
that
or
or
otherwise.
you said it in a funny way and I spelled it differently.
A keep would be a defensive
I wouldn't put it past
fortification.
me.
Usually a
Going
tower.
up to a thing.
This is
So
very
who-
educational.
Who is approaching?
Me.
Yeah.
And
I'll-
me.
Yeah, no, I've got it written down here. Barrowman. Fishinville. Garen.
Usually the walking order is me and then Vic because he refuses to be anything less than
Ha!
second.
Mhm.
I am in the back or with somebody behind me.
Just
Someone.
you, or are you keeping your group of
Retinue.
undead? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping my group of undead behind me.
Okay.
Clink.
His entourage.
Yeah, Clink's got to be surrounded by the undead to feel comfortable.
Okay.
Because otherwise Clink's terrified.
As you and you're approaching the gate.
Mhm.
Not
menacingly, though.
I'd stay back.
It's kind of menacing. I mean, not much. I glow purple.
Yeah, no, you... As you start, you definitely can tell the guard standing outside of the gate is taking notice as there is, basically what is, stone-floored and kind of rough. There's just an open expanse on any end of this before reaching the actual... Basically, a clear approach. And as you start nearing, probably within 100 feet,
Yeah, I'll stop.
he has his hand sort of on something that's on, because of how it is, he's reached his hand up near the inside edge of the door. So there's kind of a bit of wall blocking. You're not really sure what's going on, but...
Yeah, I'll stop moving and stop my people.
Okay.
We're still not. Just playing, still walking. He's in the back, so...
Okay, yeah. So basically it's now just the three of you?
Mm-hmm.
And he'll let you get probably within 30 feet, for he says, close enough in Elven.
Hail! I'll answer back in Elven.
What is that following you?
It's a wizard.
That looks like a... And what's with it?
He's a necromancer.
You hear sort of like the ringing of a bell.
Flee.
Okay, you and your group flee. Does Quink go with?
Yeah, she's back there. Yeah, she'll chug along. I've been arrested before.
Okay.
I ain't no shy no gangs.
And you're probably back to the mouth of of the cavern before you hear the clink, clink of a few arrows hitting off of stone far enough away that they're not really hitting anything, but you can tell something is.
Dude, do we see them firing arrows?
Yes. While they're doing that, you can see basically some longbow. Some arrows shoot over.
I step in front of Vic's character, take up as much space as I can, and go on guard. Not sword drawn, but shield in the way.
Yeah.
So,
You do so. The one guy that's standing outside of the gate, and who is at this point just primarily watching you, hand on a still sheathed sword.
So is necromancy bad here?
Necromancy is bad everywhere.
Nobody else seems to have a problem that we've met.
That's true, though.
You have not been welcome in any city with any undead. When he had the hand, he always kept it hidden while he was inside of the other city. But literally, when he went to his own home, he only brought people outside of the city.
Yeah, but that Sir Benevolent was dancing and partying with those undead.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God! They think that Webby was the norm.
He loves undead. She came out and partied with some undead.
Yeah.
That's like I don't
get what's your problem.
Well, I mean, teach their own. Not exactly my thing.
And what business have the rest of you here?
I'm following a magic compass that leads me to new and interesting places.
I haven't moved.
Make a persuasion check.
To tell the truth.
That's why it's not a deception check.
10.
10?
I rolled a 3.
Firing on all cylinders.
And he'll just kind of glance towards the other less crazy.
I don't know what they're saying.
It's Elvin.
Yeah, no, he will still glance towards you.
I don't think anyone else here is Elvin.
My hand's
Just lean back
still on
and
my
around
sword.
Just leaning around the mountain of muscle.
No.
I
You
let out a
speak
growl
common?
and shuffle back in front of him.
No, but probably 30 seconds later, you can hear a shuffling, almost like latches. And from that side of the wall that he reached towards that you could not see, you do see, a door open and shut as another drow sort of, comes out.
Do you speak common?
Of course.
Yeah, well, the other guard didn't. And we don't speak Elvish.
Very well.
I speak
He
Elvish.
sort of says, "Do any harm to us?
No.
Stay there." And he just sort of crouches cross-legged on the ground
So,
and begins a ritual that you have seen a number of times before.
So is undead like a common problem around here? They
He
have
does
a
not.
bell set up? Well, there's 2 guards.
Yeah.
So I can talk to the one that's not ritualing.
Yeah. He says,
Got a bell set up and everything.
well, the bell can be used for any attack against the town.
I was like,
Dun,
just like
dun,
huge.
dun, dun.
Pause!
That's a character trait. He just has the inability to finish.
You just calculon up here.
His sentences.
Dramatic pauses. And I was like, oh, yeah.
We shall dub him Shatner.
I've been in 2 cities since I've been to the Underdark. At 1.
No, technically the fishing village she's counting.
No, I was counting the Gnome City and the Drow City.
No, you haven't been in the Gnome City.
I was outside of it, and that's pretty close.
It would be enough for his compass.
And I'm counting it.
Okay.
Well,
So, we've seen the ritual before. Is it just,
Detect
Tent?
magic?
what, you actually took that?
No.
No.
I
Is it
think
detect magic, or is it
The
tiny hut?
No, it's detect magic.
I don't think
Obviously,
you know the difference between the two of them when he sits down to do a ritual.
I'm not trained in Arcana.
Yeah, you probably don't know the difference for which one he's doing, but you know he is doing a magical ritual.
The
Does
spell's
it-
just for power that you shoot out.
Yeah, does the other guy know? So, what's he do?
He's making sure that you're all you.
We ran into a problem with doppelgangers.
You know, we ran into a problem with frog people.
Yes, frog people pretending to be other people.
Shapeshifters.
Is that a problem you guys had?
We're trying to kill those.
Sort of.
With slods?
Technically, slotty.
Sladi sladai.
That one I'm not going to
Hey, don't judge
split
someone on
hairs
a personal level.
over. At that point, he's done good enough. I'm not saying it's not a silly name. Just saying it's my big bad guy. You made a joke of it.
I'm sorry.
No, his failure on dex saves made a joke of it.
My forgetting one of their powers made a joke.
Yes.
That helps too.
But I did like Slippy the Toad.
Slippy a toad being turned into paste by giant fits.
Slippy. Isn't that the fox? Star Fox
Yeah.
frog?
Yes.
Isn't that Slippy?
Yeah.
And now I'm just imagining one of the battle toads with the giant fist pounding him into a bloody mush.
Those toads would. Those guys ain't no joke.
Anyone else pretty excited about new Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
was
I
so
don't know
old.
that
That
system.
happened so long ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's coming out in a couple weeks.
I don't know that
November,
system.
isn't it?
One of you
No, that was like last November.
Lots of people online.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Do you have any idea how long ago?
I'm fairly,
Dating ourselves.
I'm fairly excited about it.
We game about every week, and we upload every other week.
It's a very deliberate schedule in case someone has to miss a day or two.
Yes. Oh well, I'm just going to assume that there's a spell somewhere in here that does that.
What? Take alignment?
Basically,
Because they really neutered the detect spells in 5th edition.
Detect undead?
Detect enchantment or
yeah,
charm.
basically, yeah. I'm trying to detect undead. Is basically.
I don't know. They'd either name it detect life, maybe?
I'm thinking it would be one of the
But
glitter
undead
evil
have,
kind of
like,
things, but it couldn't be
undead
too
on
high a level.
I think it's like tied to Paladin.
Okay.
Paladins have detect fey, undead, and fiends.
Yeah, they do have an ability that does that. I figured there had to be a spell that did it
Yep.
too. That is
Paladins only.
Well, it looks like the guy who walked out had a sudden shift of appearance.
armor. To be fair, I didn't describe what he was
Yeah,
wearing.
it's part of detect evil and good.
Yeah.
Okay, which is just
Use its location
Paladin.
of an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
If it's in 30 feet of you.
Yeah, it's just a first level divination spell. I was like, I think they rolled it all into one thing.
okay. Is it ritual or not?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's concentration.
Up
Cone
to.
up to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Man, that is really short.
And those
30 feet.
normal restrictions, you know, one for the stone, one to common metal, blah blah, lead.
3 foot wood.
Anyway, so he'll continue. And after finishing his ritual, he does walk around you. Does a few more arcane gestures and such. But yeah. Sort of keeping an eye on... Well, if not if not some sort of foul creature, what about you? And he does make an attempt to walk a circle around you.
Cast Detect Magic.
I don't have that spell. I have literally like nothing but explosions.
No, I meant the NPCs.
Oh.
No, he has to cast Detect Magic. And he is like painted. So if not some sort of foul creature, what is it about you?
What about mine?
Your divination. You're soaked in it.
Oh yeah, we made a deal with a fish lady, and she wanted to watch us through our eyes.
Straight up truth. True string. Can't stop it. Come through. Railroad down. Click-clack down the
You might
track.
not know this, but ladies in the lake are actually pretty common, and generally give out free stuff in exchange for favors. Shockingly common, even. I mean, I swear, there's probably more lakes with ladies in them than without.
I'm pretty sure that you pushed a bunch of swords back at them.
That was that one time. I mean,
So there was that lake you got the sword from, and there's that.
yeah,
Yeah, some watery fence threw a sword at you, and now you're king.
that's how it works, man.
Well, what purpose have you at the Lord's Manor?
This isn't like a town.
Only so much as it needs to be.
My compass says this is a new and interesting place.
Well, it's not new at all. It's
I've
Been in
never
here
been here
for-
before.
for 5 generations.
I know it tells me if I've been here before.
Are you affiliated with Branston?
Branston.
Yeah. Branston. Yeah, are you affiliated with Branston?
Whatever the Rauda.
Oh, say,
Yeah.
they're in St. Louis now. That's where they are.
So Vanilla City, eh?
Barrowin.
Paraven. Also, you need to detect.
You're allowed to make
first.
notes yourself, you know that?
I could, or I could just.
It
do
doesn't mean you
this.
pronounce it correctly.
Yeah. In fact, I've forgotten it already.
In between his brain and his mouth is actually a garbage disposal that his words go through. Just chews them right up.
But yes, affiliated with them. That's the only Drow city we've seen.
No, we've of course done trade occasionally, but they're a couple of weeks away.
Has it been that long? Yeah, I guess so.
It's been much longer than that.
We
since
did
you-
dawdle a bit around the gnome thing.
Yeah.
It's been much longer since of that, but you have kind of trekked back and forth a few places.
So your lord, is he just lord of this area, or is there an entire kingdom based around and he's a
Lord of the Manor.
feudal lord? Or someone just built a big house and said, I own this now? And everything around it?
He owns the land and all of the people that
And who granted him this title?
goes back generations.
Okay, so it literally comes down to someone built a house and said, I own all this now. And no one said, no, you don't. No, that's fine. No one was using it.
So do you have a town?
Well, it is the town that is formed around to sustain the life
Well, is
of
it all
those-
walled in?
Yes, everything you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. There's nothing
So
outside of the
can we
walls.
visit the town? Maybe parlay for food and lodging, perhaps?
Do you sell anything interesting?
Yeah, you got any stores?
You say that there is a watery tot that's watching through your eyes.
Not mine.
If you wish to leave your magical trinkets with your friends, you are welcome inside our walls.
Okay. I can buy us up our rations again. Do you sell anything interesting? Or I should ask.
There's a no magic rule inside the city?
If we don't know you.
Okay.
I'm Erich. Raspe Rauda. Let me tell you some. I can tell you a few tales about me and get to know you a bit better.
Well, you've told me some tales already. You're not welcome.
Yeah. All
I have not lied a single moment since I stepped here.
I'm
Yeah.
laughing really hard right now.
To be fair, that's part of the reason you're not welcome.
Yeah.
I trust you. I trust you're an honest man.
I am.
I'll go ahead and hand you my sword and start doffing my my armor. That's magical.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only magic I own. Yeah, magical half-plate.
I own a lot of magic.
Yes, I own very, very little.
But yeah, no. Removing whatever magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. He'll kind of lead you in, and he'll even, like, from the right say, you've little reason to go in that direction. That is mostly housing and such, but there are a few shops. You know.
Browse and see if anyone speaks common enough to trade with me.
Some of the shops may do.
You don't even need to speak, just pantomime. It's super fun.
But I have the charisma to back it up, so.
Yeah.
First of all, how dare you? Start off right there with how dare you.
So, I'm going from shop to shop, looking...
Yeah, there's a couple, and you kind of get the feeling like one building is both a blacksmith and a carpenter's shop, and they do, that. You, of course, a basic general sort of repurposing store. It kind of almost seems like a mix between, it's like a general store of just general goods. It seems like a lot of things that when traders come by, things are purchased to then be resold within the town. But also that seems like kind of a shop, a bit of a tinkering guy, a light-skinned sort of gnome is working in there. And he seems to basically, not only is he has that sort of on one side, and then beyond that, he has what seems to be whatever breaks. Mm-hmm. And he just sort of seems, as you come in there, he's, sort of messing with things and trying to just make new things by putting broken things together and seeing what he can come up with. But he'll kind of...
Oh yeah, I also left Happy Shield with you.
Neat.
My technically magical shield.
Yeah. There is sort of what basically is a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
As at the point that you enter, it's a bakery. And they're baking, but you can kind of see where they have things either on ice or on shelves that they're basically seem maybe throughout the day to produce different foods and.
Okay. I will swing by the gnome first, and
then you also see what is basically like a farm shop, which is a lot of the basic ingredients for the cooking, as well as animals, some livestock.
Yes.
Rust monsters, cages and cages.
Just wooden cages on them. I go by the gnome and see if he would be interested in buying a shield, a spiked chain, and a scale mail.
I don't think...
It's like, I wasn't sure about the scale mail, if that had been taken off my sheet and passed around.
I imagine that I have it.
Okay.
So you have a spiked chain and a shield.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to keep the spike chain?
Yeah. It's like I've been carrying it forever, and it's not...
It doesn't fit with any of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I just made a... I made a new weapon.
Oh, and a longsword.
Okay. Gonna hop down below the counter, walk around, kind of almost like as he moves around, get the feeling this was not originally his shop, perhaps. It's not quite sized for him. He has some boxes sort of teetering that he uses to climb up and down.
Gotta make do when you're short.
And look some things over. You said a longsword. Kind of almost like, it's like taking the length of chain, and as he like unwinds it and grabs it, and kind of like spirals it out and like paces along it. Well, what are all the pointy bits?
From what we saw, it's for swinging around and whacking people with, and they're bladed, so they'd wrap around people like arms and cut into them.
That is wicked.
Mm.
I'll give you 30 gold for the lot.
Done.
Kind of, walks in the back and like sort of pulls a couple of different cords, and a bit of gold trickles down, sort of a side thing, and he sort of gathers it out. Puts some That should be right.
Just make
And like literally like picks up and like drags the train as it catches on the wooden counter, and he has to come around and grab the other side.
Nice doing business with you.
Oh yes. Need anything?
Not any more equipment. I was going to buy some stuff from the bakery, unless you have anything special.
Oh, well, he kind of climbs his way up. And, well, what's special to you?
I don't know. Have I seen anything, given that mechanical thing, you got anything in a repeating? Like a crossbow or...
Oh,
hand
yes,
crossbow?
I have crossbows, of course. Close down.
As for manacles of different sizes.
Sort of shuffles through, like, eventually pulling out a box that topples over. Get that later. And kind of pulls out a few
Or spike chains.
simple, simple crossbow if you're just wanting to avoid having to reload it yourself. This one is not the most accurate, but it just shoots the full 10 bolts at once. This one is used to lob these, and he kind of pulls out what is tightly wrapped, canvas material. Mm-hmm. You light them on fire first. It's fireworks, I call them.
Ah.
How'd you get in?
Handed over all my magical stuff before they let me
know you're here.
Yes.
Good.
Do these walls go to the ceiling on the outside?
No.
No?
You 100% could,
I've heard-
other than the
I'm
fact that they're
pretty
kind
sure-
of watching you.
And I'm pretty sure even if they weren't watching me, they'd notice the purple glow coming over their wall.
You are able to turn that off.
I disagree.
I ask about how far out is the 10 bolt shooter good to?
Oh, it'll go a good, say, 60 feet.
Well, how long will all 10 arrows hit the same target within that range?
5 feet?
Because I have to imagine if all of them hit the same thing, that would have to hurt a lot.
Oh, yes, of course.
So you have no idea how far they stay together.
It's about 60 feet.
Okay. How much for that?
That one, I say I could let that go. Literally eyeing you up and down.
I would have a much more expensive crossbow to buy.
To be fair, he has given up all of his magical equipment to get in here. He does not look... If you had to do the same, you would also... Well, you'd still kind of look... You have but several of your magical things are... Or of your fancy things are magical.
Yeah, just most of them. But I
How
have a
about
non-magical shield
400
and sword,
gold?
which are both super expensive.
Is it magical?
Oh, not at all.
Tell you what, because I like it, I want to play with it, I'll be willing to part with 300.
Ooh, you bust some balls here.
Make a persuasion check. Oh, maybe not. Hold on.
Well, plus 5, plus
Okay.
another 6, so
Okay.
18.
18. Yeah.
Huh?
I have double proficiency in persuasion.
I also have that.
Mhm.
Well, no, I just have plus 7. So I don't have double proficiency.
Yeah, I have stat plus, the 3. And plus another 3. I'm all expertised in it and stuff.
Very well, but don't be a stranger. If ever you come through the pots again, we may have more things.
I now have 29 gold and some sort of crossbow.
Effectively, I believe I said it holds 10 bolts.
Uh-huh.
It will shoot them all up to 60 feet. It is always disadvantage on all 10 shots. You make 10 shots. It is then 10 actions to reload it.
Yeah, no, that's still so...
That is one big hit each battle.
If you did. And remember, one advantage completely negates the disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Which, depending on what is granting the advantage, may or may not affect all the shots.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like some things the grand advantage is for the first shot, I'd only give it to 1. But even still, it's... It's also a lot of dice to roll.
Yeah. Also, isn't that, like, 10 D8s? Or 10 D10s?
They're D6s. It is based on a hand crossbow.
Okay.
It also can be held one-handed.
Yeah. It's like, I kind of want to give it to a zombie, or a skeleton, or... just get right up next to it. Chunk! Yes, and then I'll wander around over to the bakery.
Bakery, yeah.
Ask if they have traveling food.
Yeah, we've got lots of preserved things. Are you looking for just simple... We have dried meats, we got sweet meats, we have jams.
Do you have any preserved slugs? For traveling slugs.
Oh, probably for traveling long term, you'd probably want jerkied.
Yeah.
And of course we do.
Yeah. I'll take 18 sets of that.
Yeah. Same, whatever. Half gold per day, yeah.
You know, bump myself up to 20, then I'll pass the rest out. 6. And then I go over to the animal supply shop and see if they have any seeds.
Okay, yeah, pour me some. You got for what?
For a bird.
Oh, just basic food, yes, of course. We're going to do that. And yeah, you can get enough that is probably, easily a month's worth of whatever for the same half gold.
Oh, month worth per half gold?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend 2 gold. Write down Clink now has 4 months of birdseed.
You are aware the Queen probably eats more seed than that, so it probably doesn't last that long, but
Yes.
Queen does not eat as much as you people do.
What are you talking about? She had infinite amounts of birdseed before you tried to add mechanics to it.
That is true.
I know it is, but I couldn't help trying to be nice while in here.
Placed her infinite birdseed with finite birdseed.
Also, I'm expecting that range drops off at after 60.
Yeah, it's basically after 60. It's
Double
it's-
disadvantage.
Yeah, you get double disadvantage.
Yeah, no.
after
So,
60, it is basically they have all completely gone wide, and basically with the disadvantage, the ones that don't hit are the ones that have just gone other directions. Well, unless they stick together, kind of. But yeah, it's like after that they pretty much all broke it apart beyond there.
acceptable.
So basically, mechanically, the way it would be written is the normal range is 0 feet.
Yes.
Up to 60.
Yeah, I understand.
5 feet, 60 feet.
0 feet, 60 feet.
Yeah, there is no distance where it doesn't have disadvantage. If you're putting it up against someone, some of them may still just go...
You gotta be in their space, pointing it directly at them.
Yeah.
If you find yourself inside a purple worm, I'll probably let it begin. Even the ones that go up and beyond behind you. Oh, there's still more purple worm there.
Okay. I'll head back out of town.
Okay.
Like, pass the guard. Your town's interesting and small and had a cool gnome in it. Thank you for your time. Head over. I have 17 rations left. Split them how you guys need. Almost like, you need more rations?
I'm at 20.
Yeah, I'm at 20 also. What are you at?
9.
Okay, let's bump you up to 20. So there's 11.
Oh, how many rations do I got?
Yeah, you're getting 6 is the answer.
Okay, alright.
We all now have 20. And then I just hand, almost full sacks of bird seed to Clink.
And
Just kind of pours it into the sack it's been carrying.
This infinite magical sack.
You don't know what's in the bird sack.
brings me up to 18.
That is something that technically no one has checked.
It's like, your compass reset, and I show you the crossbow because you seem like you.
Your compass is still pointing at this point.
Yeah,
Yes, it is
check
checking
it out.
nowhere.
It's not pointing anywhere?
Mm-mm.
Before I go, it's like
Just free spins.
I'll walk back to town. It's like, had any monster problems recently? The group that I was with is also a mercenary company called the Strong Arms, and since we're in the area,
Things that run by, but we have our walls and a pretty good secure force.
yeah, okay. Wander off back.
I told them a story about the first time I met a lady in the lake. To really tell them about how common this is. I mean, really. It happens all the time.
Head back towards the Slutty Cave, or
Well, we could definitely hit that, but we know that for a fact that if we want to get further down, if we want to deal with the problem that we found out, we're going to have to go further down into the Underdark.
oh yeah, let's just start looking for caves that go down.
Do these guards know where lithids hang out?
You don't know what a...
I'm looking for Squid Face.
Hold up, just out of what's his name, just dropping steel ball bearing and following it down.
Okay, you walk about 15 feet, it settles in a little patch.
Well, we can keep doing that and following. Do that at intersections. It's like just a survival check to keep going
Do
down.
they know a way into the deeper, darker under caverns? Why don't you just ask them?
Yeah.
Nothing specifically.
Know any interesting places nearby?
Well, what do you consider interesting?
Monster hangout, other
We
towns.
were looking for your input. That's why we asked.
Well, we don't leave anywhere. Of course, the nearest major civilization is Narmix-El.
Is that the Drow City?
No.
And it's not the.
Do you say that, or do you ask them?
Yeah.
I would imagine I remember the name of the Drow City. I don't remember
Okay.
the player.
Yeah.
Well, where's Narmix-El?
Narmix-El? Probably only about a 5-day trip. Southeast.
What's the name of this town? Ask that.
The Lord's Manor.
Yeah, it's sort of, he said, we're around Manor Sorjin. The town itself has no name.
Ah, the town with no name.
Mm-hmm. I want to write it. Also, everyone else is probably planning on buying magical items. I'm broke again because I keep buying all of our expenses.
You bought a stupid fucking crossbow of your own volition.
I did.
Yeah.
I have put zero thought into how broken that might be.
Not super bad. Crossbows are what, a D10?
D6.
It's a cannon crossbow. It's a D6.
10d6.
Yeah.
10d6.
10d6 with each one with an attack with disadvantage.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh god. You know we would get to add our modifier to each one of those.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Like I said, I have put no thought into how broken that is.
Not crazy.
Unless you can
hit.
get some... Yeah, they have to hit, but if you can apply some on-hit effects to that...
But there's no way to do it with a weapon.
Yeah, poison maybe. It would take 10 doses, but...
Yep.
Magic weapon.
Yes, just bring this back
Yes,
to...
which of us has that spell?
Nah, I didn't take it.
Yeah, exactly. Which of us took that buff spell?
I could take it.
Well,
I'm not
let's go to
likely
let's go to Narmix-El.
I could technically take flame level, or flame weapon eventually.
You mean flame arrows?
Well, flame weapon.
No, is that a
It's a
warlock-
spell.
Warlock spell? Okay.
Well, technically hexblade,
oh, I see.
so it might be a Xanathar spell.
So
I'm
just
pretty
go
sure
ahead
it's-
and southeast.
Yeah, sounds right. Unless the compass tells me to go somewhere else.
So you, and you just sort of head off, the midday as you leave, head back towards his end, sort of back away and take the next.
I continue looking for iron ore.
You continue expanding the actual length of trips in order to find food?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I tell you, For you special, I got the slug variety.
I got a 15.
I know it's your favorite.
Okay. Total or?
Yes.
Okay.
You ever actually pick up a move earth or rock or any of those?
No, that's why I got the pickaxes.
Mm.
It was ceaseless labors, like a spell.
So much more useful than unseen servants who have, like, no stats.
Yeah, so you have ahead of you a 6-day trip, stopping for foods along the way. After the first day, make a luck check.
11.
14.
14? The compass is pointing sort of a different direction.
Which way? Because we're going towards Narmix-El, so it's going that direction?
Probably more southwest.
Like, at an angle, or right?
As in, you're going southeast, it's going southwest.
It's perpendicular to our trajectory.
So less than 90 degrees.
You want
Or
to see,
it
it depends on
something
how...
to
At
get
that point, it is probably about 90 degrees.
We'll hit the town first.
You do notice, if you check it each day, it almost seems to almost be, it's gradually starting towards its way of evening out. So it's, in general, it's... It seems to still be pointing at whatever that was.
Well, hey, new city. And then we can follow the compass.
I'm going to go ahead and call it us going to cities as investigating the Slotty and asking about the deeper dark. That's how we're continuing the adventure. Versus just wandering around the Underdark with no clear goals in mind.
Can't say it like it's not the best thing ever.
It's totally turned into your campaign of, I'm going to adventure.
To be fair, I don't know if you've noticed any arcs, but Arc 1 was most certainly Bob's campaign, and it is a little bit his campaign now, and you clearly have a setup point for when it's your campaign. I have been just basically letting you level up is solving most of your stuff. Technically, you have an arc far off now with your book.
Yeah.
It's like, it definitely is kind of taking turns in it. It's
That's best with Ryan. You never give him something he can achieve, because he'll achieve it, then leave. Then you gotta put it at the far back.
I never have any concern with that.
Yeah, I just create very long...
I imagine if I were to let you guys get massive level, he would be fine to travel along with you as an all-powerful lich.
Well, it's not like I can become a lich. At least not in any sort of time. I haven't gotten married or had kids yet.
I can't be undead till I fulfill my life.
Yeah, the whole reason that I'm traveling is because I'm trying to get married.
Yeah. And also, he has a story that is tied in also later in the game.
Yeah.
Probably just before yours, but it could be after. Really depending on the way you do things. Yeah, no, there are definitely arcs for each of you. I am so happy that I managed to have that. The first evening has your gnome friend almost tinkering with swinging chains as defenses outside of the city walls, etc. Just seeming so gleeful.
Second night, him on chains swinging around, just avoiding doors.
Yeah. Within sort of almost, probably, that first night is sort of you following the Raven through the town, seeing things, noticing, it almost feels like as you walk through the town following your Raven, paying less attention to where you're going and more just following the Raven, able to look around more, you almost feel like you're watched. As you go in the different buildings, you sort of get the idea that you have indiscriminating eyes from people, almost eyes as if something is staring at you from a cage sitting inside of another cage, with nothing in either. The Raven sort of perches, sort of poking its way inside of the first cage, and the second cage gobbles it up.
After that one, that felt kind of prophetic. Something might be amiss back in that town with the actual keep, but...
Obviously. I mean, have you not read any stories?
Oh, yeah. I did not... And no, it really happened. As this street urchin.
let me lay it out for you. Generally speaking, if guards are standoffish and don't go into our town, basically guaranteed good story.
Mm.
But I didn't feel like fighting them, so... You know.
Wait, so if we go back to the town, is she going to be mine?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean...
You thought there was a vampire last time.
I mean,
that doesn't either.
Well, I mean, that's a given, though. I mean, it's a lord's man. The town's got no name. There's a high probability that whoever the lord is undead, a vampire, exiled god, bastard prince, cursed with some sort of shape-changing curse. I mean, these are all pretty high
Make a persuasion check.
These are all pretty high likelihoods.
Natural 20.
Of course it is. Yes! I mean, this is all real common.
As you just persuade the gods to rewrite reality, and that story totally sounds like that's what's actually happening there. Not just some, guy who decided, hey, I like this place, I'm going to build a house here.
No, this is what happens.
You're not the only one listening to your story right now.
That's true. Very persuasive.
Yes, Dr.
Totally an exiled god just living in that manor. Chula army marches on city.
Could be.
Let's be fair, can the Chula hear us or only see?
Well,
The
she
Chul cannot do anything.
Not the Chula, the lady in the lake.
You are not positive.
But yeah, you'd imagine she'd have, audio.
Yeah.
Black and white TV would be pretty crap with no sound.
One of those, 8-inch models.
And he's like, wait, who's transcribing what they're saying? And it's just like, screen goes black.
But other, dreams, going through the caverns, one night you feel almost like you find yourself alone in the cavern and it just begins, to rumble. And as you sort of almost find yourself fleeing from whatever shaking is going underneath the ground, you find yourself joined by the raven and following, darting out, and as a swarm of teeth pass by the cavern just behind you.
At least it's not creepy or anything.
I'll also mention swarm of teeth behind us. That one felt more prophetic.
But
I'd say if your visions, those visions sound like she's having a rough bit. If she got, if your patron got mixed up into messing with somebody she wasn't supposed to, she might be in for a world of trouble.
Mm.
But to be fair, most of the visions are more about him and less about her directly.
Yeah. What I heard from that is, I avoided a swarm of teeth. Then we never go back there.
And finding yourself after 6 days of travel,
Numinous.
Narmix-El. Narmix-El, technically, but
Yeah.
The
time,
Skyrim.
yeah, the time that I'm not spent trying to mine out.
and you got a 15.
Yes.
At one day you do get a ping that there is some iron, but sort of from where your cavern is, it sort of pings directly into the sidewall.
Alright.
But how far?
Is it far
Do
away?
you know how far?
Yeah.
It is near the outskirts of your...
So almost
all right.
1,000 feet of stone.
Yeah.
Take a look and see if we can navigate the caverns to some location closer to
Do you wander off yourself with that, or...?
I'll when we wake up the next day, I'll ask people if they wouldn't mind us taking a break since I found some iron. If we want to navigate the caverns to get closer to it,
You can just buy iron.
but it's free. I just have to dig it up.
Yeah, sure. We'll spend a day seeing if we can get closer.
I'm going to be an extra survival check.
I'll help.
16.
16. You're probably able to find another little bit of a side cavern with a little bit of backtracking that gets probably down to within 500 feet. A little bit of a side path, but it's still seeming that you're quite a distance from it. It would take quite some time to...
Oh,
And I think you have a single...
No, I got 3.
You have 3 pickaxes? Okay.
Yeah, how about 3? I mark it on my map. It's like, okay, that's still pretty far away, so I'll just mark it down and wait until we find something closer.
Okay.
When I'm not doing that during our travels, I'll spend time reading the history of Vecna book.
Okay.
Just to, it's like, read through and see what the history's like.
Lots of it you can kind of tell is bits of speculation, etc. You get feeling of multiple accounts from different people taken into advantage, taken in here. And are you basically starting at the beginning?
Yeah.
At this point, a large part of the book is going over who Vecna was before being a god, and you probably get about 50 over the days you read through, and there's probably, short, but 50 different accounts of possibly was this person.
Yeah.
Possibly was... Basically, there's no narrowed down of this is who...
It's like,
the details of the life.
And he's like some kid from Flan, raised by his mother, learned arcane arts.
Yeah, it's kind of down to we have it, these people all could be in there. Little side essays on the fact that it is, clearly was hidden who Vecna was by Vecna at a later point. That it is ridiculous not to be able to have anyone that could pin him down, other than the fact that it's been, magically hidden.
I'm sure we'll get to more concrete stuff when he actually becomes an archlich and his fame actually increased to the point people knew him. It's like, what happened earlier in his life? And he's like, well, he was like orphaned at one point, maybe. Something might have happened to his mom. And it's like, may have been raised by an otherworldly entity.
Yeah, there's some outside stories. But yeah, definitely.
Some sort of cryptic mention of the serpent.
Of anything, probably at least 3 of them do involve information on a species called UNT, which are a serpent people. But if anything, you get more of a feel of the historical time period from which Vecna came.
Right.
Vecna, because one of the things that is known with Vecna is that he'd originated from the material plane.
Yes, he's from the Flanes area.
Yeah. Well, no. All of these originate from here within this world.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, there would be, accounts, and which do bring a lot of, because this is a very point of light setting. You get lots of information. Basically, they are all surface based. There seems to be no questioning if Vecna had originated down here. It's pretty much Vecna had come from the surface. So, yeah, lots of detail on that. But you reach what is astonishingly
Small?
golden city.
Wow, neat.
Large golden walls.
Neat.
Intricate, angular carving details lining the outside wall. Massive gates.
Look at you. You know what we forgot to ask? Who lived here?
Drows.
We didn't ask that.
I just assumed.
Exactly. I'm just looking. That doesn't look like drow stuff.
Looks drowish to me.
Doesn't look drowish to you. You
I don't know
are
what drow
not
looks like.
familiar with Narmix-El,
Yeah.
but you know in this general direction that there is supposed to be a Dwarven stronghold.
Yeah, I take a look at the craftsmanship. I might be able to recognize that.
Does it look dwarfy?
Just a whole
It
bunch
looks
of
like an
little short
extravagant. It almost like a level above extravagance for dwarfy.
Mmm. Yeah, proof.
Shiny.
So these gates have guards, or are they just wide open?
The gates are closed and no one outside.
Knock.
Yeah, actually approaching gates 3 times your height and almost like down at your level.
There a small door?
There is no apparent small door,
Oh.
but there is sort of like a knocker kind of.
I stay back.
Wow, what a huge knocker.
And
Is it like normal door size? Sure.
yeah, it's like literal. Technically, there are probably a bunch of them sort of in a row.
Oh, okay.
Almost been used as a decorative piece down here, but hinged, so.
Yeah.
And it has almost like almost like a light level of sound for the size of the door.
Shave and a haircut.
2 bits.
And you almost like get the feeling like the gate is almost after that there's a moment of silence where it feels like something is happening before the gate starts to move. And it
In or out?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Sideways.
It would have to go out.
So back up.
Yeah. Defensively,
Yes.
a fortress would have to go out.
Defensively, they'd go out.
Yeah, it's like that's exactly what my brain is. They're not dumb. It goes out, and yeah. So basically, the door on one side kind of opens up enough full, like so massive gate opens up, sort of about 3 feet wide. The door, and it just sort of almost swings peacefully against, and sort of gets to that point and jars, stopping at that point. And a dwarf that seems to almost be like hand around like a meaty part of a thick hammer, sort of elderly gray, mangled beard, but intricately braided hair.
Have undead go hide around the corner.
Hell. And this is dwarf. I don't speak Dwarven, so common.
Welcome. How may I help you?
We are adventurers exploring the sites of the Underdark. We've
Your
heard of
city
your
looks
city.
like Your city looks nice.
Ah, craftsmen of generations. It's fantastic. My grandfather. You see the
Sit down, stay a while.
the small row of faces up there, about 30 feet up.
He did the
carved
noses. He did all the noses.
Yes. He was a real nose man, my grandpa.
Especially you see my grandmother. Schnoz on that woman.
It's like this is fantastic. Your city. Do you have special means about locating the materials that you use to build?
Always.
Well, what do you use?
I've not met you yet.
It's true enough.
I've met dwarves before. The answer is secret dwarven techniques that are not for the ears of non-dwarves.
I think the best way for us to get to know each other is to make something and exchange it.
Come. And he just sort of walks, turns around and walks in.
What a terribly Dwarven response, Ryan.
I'm a smith.
He kind of just sort of follows, and you know, as he walks, you see that there's a couple other dwarves just sort of sitting on chairs, almost like lounging and just sort of casually talking, like in a little sort of circle with a few extra chairs that are loose there, just sort of inside where this gate is. Do you pass through?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for some of the larger of you, it is a bit of a... basically, it opened at about 3 feet. You kind of scooch in sideways to get in, and assume you continue to just leave your undead. Tell them basically to continue to hide somewhere outside.
Yeah.
They'll probably find some sort of rock structure up against the side, and they will basically take.
Go and find a place and keep yourselves hidden.
Yeah. I'm assuming Clink enters with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clink is not undead.
Yeah. There have been times where the orders for one have followed the other, so...
Clink's like, I don't feel safe without the undead around me.
Clink is terrified of the undead still. I don't...
She may be terrified, but she does know they're there to keep her safe in a lot of the situations.
She doesn't lay delicious eggs, does she?
No, we've gone over this before.
Yeah.
The answer is no, not yet.
But yeah, as you enter, you definitely... this immediate part about the gate, and probably about 50 feet back, is small bits of traffic. You know, you had the group there that kind of eye you as you're looking in, checking there, and just, you know, a lady amongst them looks very glowing bits of jewelry and such, kind of eyeing you and taking some notes, you know, in a thick, heavy tone. Almost like would be impressive to you. Almost the kind of thing, like it's, you know, like that thick of a book, sort of metal-sided, sort of bolted down, and
Just full of
Hey,
brushes.
Adam, I pull out my talisman.
okay, you just sort of, at this point, aware of where you are, you just put it on the outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got the little
Yeah.
dwarven thingy on there.
These are vanilla dwarves, right?
What do you mean?
They're not black.
Mountain dwarves.
Yeah, mountain dwarves.
Alright.
Come here.
Not
Yeah.
Dugwa.
What
Or
are
hills.
There are probably a good number of hill dwarves amongst them. You kind of get the feeling of the mountain reed inferior. Dwarves are the primary.
Alright.
Mechanically speaking.
Mountain are just worse.
Yeah. Mountain have two features that counteract each other, like that do not mix well together.
Yeah.
You want strength. Yes, very good. But you're probably playing a character that doesn't get an armor proficiency then? Oh, you are? Well, then your other feature is
I
wasted.
played a dwarf with that who's a rogue.
Yeah. It's like there are things, but generally the strength is not geared to match with the other benefit.
Is your rogue wearing like full plate? Or planning
It's
to?
medium armor.
Oh.
And no, he's wearing leather armor because I don't have money. We're level like 5. We have no money in that campaign. What are you talking about?
Which campaign is this?
Dustin's and Rich's balls.
So we're only level 3.
Yes.
We just got to level 3.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, after about 50 or so feet, you definitely start noticing, and you can tell obviously as you're going forward, a lot more of hustle and bustle. There are a few other races here, but compared to the other city of a similar scale you've been to, this seems in general similar scale to the Drow city. This one seems to have a higher population of dwarves, but it could just be almost like the same number of non-dwarves here and just more dwarves.
No. More
and as you are about 30 feet from the gate, you can hear it kind of echoey shut back behind you.
Coolness.
But yeah, you're entering through, and he sort of leads you down a bit. I live here. What have you got in mind to make? Something simple, something quick, of course.
I can make music.
Well, give me a day and I could make something more complicated.
I don't know. Let's. And he's like, sort of steps in, and he has sort of like literally like he'll just invite you. If you haven't want to stay out, feel free. Let's see here, and he has like in what would normally be a living room, and as he walks in, he sort of tosses hammer on sort of a cushion, and he has a couple of anvils, a forge, sort of inside the room there, and he kind of, as he does, he unlatches, a couple.
I walk over to the bellows and just stand there waiting.
A couple of like metal like shutters that almost fall down on each side of the wall as he says, "All right, we can get things heated up now."
Good.
I'm just standing at the bellows.
Yeah, no, and you kind of know when to work. And
Nothing else.
have I been giving you like percentages at this point?
10%.
10%. Add an extra 10. after
Yes,
this.
10%.
But yeah, he'll say, sort of pull out some things, a lot of just sort of scrap bits of metal, smaller bits to have to work here. Something simple, let's see what we can do in an hour.
Sure.
And yeah,
Nothing. It takes a whole day to make something.
I don't know.
That's...
Statistically, but if they're just heating some up and carving it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, hammering it down, and basically things commence. Probably he makes a simple sort of amulet kind of...
I'm observing carefully.
Hmm.
Less carefully with Ryan.
What stat? Well, no. I asked if you would like magic enhancement. If not, also fine.
Well, I figure Bob's helping me. I'd say if you wanted to enhance ability, that would just...
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm helping, that means he gets...
More or less, with what you're doing, you're helping both of them.
Yeah, no. They both get advantage.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's not necessary.
Okay.
That way they can concentrate on... I know
Yeah.
exactly why it is, so they
Yeah.
can concentrate. Do I need to roll strength?
Not for this, no. At this point, you're getting more... For one, you're not doing it for a full day. It's an hour. And at that point, that's easy work.
Make a tankard? And as intricate as I can make it. So I get a 16. And so on my roll... So, 22.
Between the two, he definitely aimed for a lot more detail in a smaller spot. You probably aimed for a bit of a larger object, a lot more necessary function. But between the two, just in the short period of time, you almost get the feeling that between him, he's sort of... you seem to more or less have the better object. His seems maybe along a better path, but he set the time, and he did not seem to have accomplished near his goals within it. You could almost tell, like, the edge detail he started going with, but, like, there's so much, as it gets to the hours, like,
Yeah, it takes
it's time gone that quick.
Yeah.
Whereas you basically fully functioned, it's not fully functional, basic, but well made, kind of a, put him a flat lid, not necessarily the details and the fancy bit, but yeah, just kind of...
wipe it down with a cloth.
Yeah, I could use like another day of detail work on it.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
good
nice
base.
detail. He started focusing on detail too early.
Yeah, it was like, there we go, tankard.
There you go.
Yeah, back home.
Man. I'm not used to naming dwarves, it's been a while. I was leaning on it.
Well, you can't steal my one dwarven name. I've had many a Kalidan, and most of them are dwarves.
Name's Flint.
Flint Axebeard, or...
Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Bad water in his place. Catches on fire.
I mean, it's like, I'm Henwick of the Smurf Nebel and Heartlocket.
Never much thought about your kind's crafting ability, but I suppose you keep to yourself a lot. Perhaps we've just not seen it.
I mean, it's like, that's unusual. Us Smurf Nebelin are known for our crafts. We've got, we're master jewelers as well.
I have seen a few of the gems cut by our people. We've actually done some trade. We, send some people out occasionally.
2 hours later.
We
Come on, isn't it technically the other gnomes who are known for their craftsmanship because they get the clockwork feature?
Well, those are the tinkers.
Yeah,
Smurf
tinkers.
Nebelins have access to
Gem
vast amounts of resources underground, so they're known for being...
They do gem cutting.
gem
Yeah,
cutting.
and he sort of goes into the some of the we send traders occasionally to acquire cut gems.
And go ahead and engage in some shop talk with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever, family, local blacksmith of our particular town. So yeah, you would have probably gone through us, maybe even my sister would have.
Yeah, almost sort of
And somebody you
asked
talk to.
family Mark. If maybe something he would have seen and not recognized. He doesn't seem to, but yeah, instead of the...
Yeah, I bring up my sister, that she'll probably be one of the ones that you might have talked to as far as making trades from...
Oh, that's... I don't leave the walls much.
No, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's family crest.
Yeah.
Let me give him illusion.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, you can spend a bit of the early afternoon there with him before he'll sort of see out. Really, I've best get back to God duty and such.
He is terrible at his job.
There are totally other dwarves in that little area.
No wonder the old lady looked pissed. That's what she was recording, is he was getting paydock.
Well, yeah, he'll sort of pick up his walking hammer. Sort of almost, at that point, you almost get the recognition of, as he walks back down the street after closing up his home and seeing you out, he almost seems a little older as he walks back to work than he did working inside of his home.
So, what is it that can you give me a hint on what you guys do to locate the great amount of materials that you managed to collect?
Some of it's just in our blood. But we've, of course, arcane spells to do so, and a lot of family traditions. We've also, of course, some ways to encourage minerals to be where we need them.
Ooh,
And he'll just sort of turn around on that, and that's where you leave.
I'm interested in that. You better... I want to get that.
Not likely. But of course you want it.
I'm just
They all
imagining you summon earth elementals and have them do stuff like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
But yeah. So it's mid-afternoon. You find yourself sort of on a main street for a bustling dwarven city.
So he doesn't leave the walls now, but does he know like what's around the city, outside of it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he familiar with the area?
We could probably
He didn't
find
much
people.
talk to you about that.
You could probably
I'd
find
ask.
people who are more suited.
Specifically, does he know what's that way?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's caverns and such.
Anything interesting that way?
What all the interest we need around here. As your compass points that way.
You know anything that's that way? Right about there-ish.
No,
as
nothing
the,
that
as
way.
the laser flies.
There's nothing that way. But we'll end there. That's a fun session. Is that like a 5,000 experience session?
I don't know. It felt like more like 15.
A 15 experience session? We're well beyond that. Let's go with 5,000. Quit kind of trying to cut yourself short.
15,000?
So 33.
And
Yep.
join us next time for more. Bye.